Hey, okay, my recording's starting. What's up? We have a Smogon Tour 25 round 1 battle between Elodin, aka Popeye Noel, aka the Brazilian Santa Claus, against the legendary Ojama. So, we've got a relatively orthodox team from Elodin, although there are unorthodox choices on both sides, since you don't really see Skarmory in Sun and Moon these days. I've seen like one uh, ever since Stall got pretty much killed. And Tapu Fini has been extinct for a while, although there have been some players like Charmflash slash Meowdo who have been using its talents at handling Heatran, who is a bitch, and Pinsir, who's always pretty up there as a giant threat, but never really consistently used. So then we've got the usual suspects of Zygarde, Heatran, Kartana, Landorus, and here, of course, Greninja, Tyranitar, Landorus, Amoonguss, and Zam, actually, which is kind of cool. So they are taking their time at this team preview. I think that Ojama, if his Zygarde is banded, then well, while Elodin has a couple offensive options, then defensively he can get it in a couple places. You know, T-Tar, else Skarm. I guess Skarm would just immediately Whirlwind, but basically, if Zygarde gets in, then he's going to be causing a lot of ruckus. And Tapu Fini, with its taunting and defogging, will make sure he's not going to be getting worn down by hazards. Hell, Misty Terrain means that nothing can even get scored here. Well, Landorus can. He's not on the ground, but he's not going to be switching that in anyway. He would go to Heatran if anything. So he leads off with a Nature's Madness, and we don't see leftovers or Black Sludge on the Amoonguss, which I think might mean likely Assault Vest, so he wouldn't be sporing anyway. Heatran is the very obvious switch here. So the question is, does Elodin make the big move of going to Greninja? I don't think there's any need for Ojama to get fancy. No, he's going to go to Zygarde. Um, nice move. Since no, he's just going to Giga Drain health back, which is crucial because he does not have Black Sludge, so a Regenerator doesn't do all the work. Or does do all the work, sorry. Almost all of it. So he's just going to see, like, get that 1,000 arrows off, and he's going to smack Lando pretty hard. So that looks banded. Yeah, but I don't think there was any point in playing around with Fini's health. Even if Greninja does get in on Tran, you've got the full health Fini. And if it's gonna gunk shot, then it's gonna get that in at some point anyway. So you're just gonna have to play around it. Zygarde also tempts Greninja to reveal if it is an Ice move variant. So that also transpired. That was horribly phrased. I'm so sorry. But you get my point that if Greninja's staring down Zygarde and he doesn't really feel like switching into it that much, then he might be tempted to go for an Ice move, and Ojama could also go to Fini on that turn as Landorus came in if there was a switch. So either you absorb the move aimed at Zygarde, or you have a good matchup against Landorus. So that would have been fine even if Greninja did come in on Trans. So here comes Fini again. That is bulked out. Not playing any Lando on Lando games, and he's not going to be able to burn anything with Skull, but he can fire off Nature's Madness again, although this time, well, he doesn't have to even worry about a Spore because of Mungus being Assault Vest, which also tends to run Stomping Tantrum, so he doesn't want to he doesn't want Heatran to take that. Instead, he's going to go to Lando. Perhaps this is a Stealth Rocker, and he knows that the Assault Vest of Mungus is a perfect place to get his rocks up.
You have a lot of stuff.
Oh, shut the
And you love the things you own.
I set it on autoplay, and it's.
That's why
I might have to skip this ad.
But old insurance kind of sucks. You pay every month.
Sorry. That is not the background ambience I was going for. Anyway, yeah, he gets his rocks, and here come the spikes, and here comes a free Heatran switch. Self-explanatory. So it could be Scarf Rocks Lando, or it could be Scarf Kartana. So here comes the fearsome Magma Storm that terrorizes the overused tier. That is not what I was looking for. What did I do to deserve this? I never use autoplay. This was supposed to be for convenience. Anyway, so he's got the Greninja and the T-Tar, and those are the two switches. T-Tar, if it's not Scarf, which is very rare in Sun and Moon, then he could potentially get screwed over by a corkscrew crash set. So but he's gonna fire off a will-o-wisp, which is oh no, he's lava plume. Sorry, I just saw the burn. So this could be it all goes yeah, excuse me. It could also be a Scarf Heatran, um, with two fire moves, both magma and lava. So hmm, I don't think Heatran wants to stay in though. So lava doing its job there, and see, Greninja is amazing for the offensive capabilities of these teams, which in past gens might have run a Keldeo. But well, I guess Kelly also gets worn down by if you use one of these offensive water types over the more bulky variants, then switching into Heatran multiple times, like they would tend to do, can be kind of rough. Although Heatran status, and Heatran's a beast, man. The faster pokes get hammered, and the slower pokes get statused and don't hit it that hard usually. So it's Mega T-Tar. He gets up the rocks. So that's interesting. So no Scarf Rocks Lando. So hmm. Here comes the Scarm. Are we going to see Defog? No, we're going to see a straight EQ. That's a little strange actually. I would not expect Ojama to do that. I thought he would I guess Kartana can defog too. So we're seeing a likely dual dance Lando, which is awesome because I think he's very underrated in the newer gens. But I didn't expect the earthquake there because Transheart is just basically worthless, and he can pretty much do what he wants with it. He can probably send Fini out and defog on it if he wanted to. Well, I guess with Kartana and Lando, if you have Fini, then why not defog with it? Why stick that to one of the Pokemon who would rather be doing something else more often than not? So, I guess now that Lando's taken that hit from Zygarde, Pinsir got scarier if somehow the Scarm goes down. And you could see, maybe not the Scarm going down, but it giving so many opportunities to Heatran that shit just starts to die, and that opens a bunch of holes for Ojama to exploit otherwise. Because otherwise, Pinsir's going to be nasty. I guess there is the possibility of Water Shuriken and Ashgren, but right now the hazards aren't looking too hot. But there's knockoff, there goes the helmet. So yeah, I was wondering if Scarm would ever make a comeback in Sun and Moon, because I mean spikes are great. I mean Greninja, Ferrothorn. Um, I guess I've seen a couple spikes, Diggersby's and Oris, not Sun and Moon. And here comes the Tran. So I think he's lefties too. He's not going to get worn down by spikes. That was because I was still thinking. I think that might have been a Scarf card. I guess it could have been SD, and it still could have been Scarf Lando.
Do you know what
So,
people do when they're looking to get in shape?
Jesus
I do.
fuck. Can I
It's
not
called low
get an ad for
carb,
once from this
low fat foods.
douchebag? God, he just looks like a tool, doesn't he? Um, so here comes Zam eating an Earth Power. Recover Mega Zam is actually a pretty decent lasting trans
Never cover the
switch
purple
because he
mattress
just
glow,
traces
then we
Flash
fall
Fire.
out of the bedroom. Only purple passes the durability test.
Like, anyway, so protect, and he's not. It's not. But it's not Mega Zam because he's Megatar. He's just Life Orb. So this could also do some damage in return. I think it's still anyone's game, but it's Ojama's pressuring him more, but there are a lot of games where the guy on this side, for example, will just lose two, three Pokemon. The other guy's got all his stuff healthy, but he's in a position where shit's about to die, hazards are up, things are weakened. So even though the score and the general position is not looking so hot, this guy just manages to make it close end game without effort because he set it up that way. So I didn't articulate that perfectly, but it's something I find myself in often where I'll be like, man, that guy's actually 6'3" up on me. But then I know in a couple more turns it's going to be 3-3 or something. And yeah, because of the way that things have hit each other, and you may have sacrificed something to get down the hazards or weaken the Pokemon, so that later in the game it's not as big a deal. Anyway, so he's tanking that, and Lava Plume does not finish it off. So he's going to protect again, and no, he's not actually. He's going to sack Kartana, huh? Ooh, nice move. I did not know that regular Life Orb Zam ran Recover too. Although I'm sure he's really happy he has it. So I think he's going to Finny on the Scarm switch, because he's fearing it. Yup. And defog up. So, but here comes Zam for another round of terror. Now, Finny is bulky. It's going to get worn down, and he's going to need it for Greninja later in the game. So I don't think he wants to take this hit at all. Actually, Elodin's Zam is looking mighty threatening. Hmm. Nothing can really. I mean, Zygarde can switch in like once, but then what? Scarm's back in, and Scarm means Tran, and Alakazam recovers on Tran, so he's just gonna sack Kartana. I had a feeling that he might not actually be Scarf Kartana. He might have been Swords Dance or something, and it's Scarflando. I mean, we'll see. Yes. See, or no, he's not Scarflando. I'm so sorry. This is the Swords Dance Rocker. Um. Uh. So I think I guess sacking the Scarf cart still isn't bad there because he every time he uses it to revenge it, he's going to thud against Amoonguss and Skarmory, so it's kind of useless. Whereas Lando can actually make progress in the game, so I agree with that choice. Now the question, Zam is not staying in here for sure, so I think he should get up rocks on the switch and then go to Tran on the or yep, rocks. Because if he Earthquake Greninja, then it tanks one, and that's enough. So here's Finny's still at a high enough health to handle Ashgren, and now it's really at high enough health with that Hydro Miss. Hmm. That would have really helped him out later in the game, so that really sucks. Recover Life Orb Zam really showing its stuff here though, because it is going to heal on Finny, although Finny is still gonna. Or oh, he's not taunt. He's dual stabs, defog, Nature's Madness. And Moonblast drops are really not going to be his friend. He just wants to get up to high health, though. I guess he doesn't really mind if he gets dropped as long as he doesn't get crit. He just wants to be at high health for Heatran. And then he's going to switch to Amoonguss. Because at high health, he's not going to beat this thing one-on-one anyway. Anyway, he uses this drop special attack to switch to Lando. So Scarm's going to come in. Now switch to Heatran. Now he's going to go to Lando to cover a possible Heatran double switch. Very nice move. He's just going to Swords Dance. So Lando doesn't instantly take his momentum, and he's still good if he goes to Scarm. So that was a better move. Props for that foresight. Anyway, Finny coming in for HP Ice. So Zam, he can, I think it's looking very Scarf, so he could pop a Heatran switch here. And just to get some leftovers. I don't think he really wants to stay in because it's Assault Fest. No, he's just going to Nature Madness away. I don't think he wants to get Stomping Tantrum, though. So, might have to be careful. I think we see Zygarde from Ojama here, actually. Nice. And he has a good one-on-one against Zam, so he can fire off some Banded Thousand Arrows. And now it's looking like Ojama's in the driver's seat once more. Dude, what's with these ads after the video ends? What the shit is that? Okay. Um, so from no, he's just gonna sacrifice Zam to get damage off on the Zygarde because Zam was looking pretty threatening. I guess that Hydro Mist kind of set him back, because he was just chunking Fini would have really brought it down lower. I guess that Zygarde can't switch into. Well, he can go to fucking Pinsir, can he? Just spam return and not really get punished for it. Yeah, I think he just goes to Pinsir. Unless this is Rocky Helmet or something. Nope, see, stop attention. So Lando in. Now well I guess what maybe you go Heatran here? I think that would be fine. No, he just keeps going to Lando to cover the Heatran double switch. Ojama keeps not giving it to him. He just keeps Swords Dancing. And now Fini, and then another back to Amoonguss. And we're just going to keep going the cycle. Oh, Defog, finally. Something different, rather than just thudding against it. So that is something. Um, thing is, here comes Amoonguss again, and what's Ojama's response going to be? Maybe it's time he goes to Pinsir. Nothing else wants to switch into Fini. It has to be Amoonguss, so he can switch in Pinsir and start hitting shit. Orlando to get rocks back up. I guess that's fine too. Just really soften everything up. You see, he's not really on a timer to pressure things with Pinsir, and rocks are good. So Scarm. Now here's the free Tran. No, he's just gonna Swords Dance. Well, this Stone Edge is gonna fucking sting. He could be a Continental Crush. I mean, killing anything at this point is fine, so I don't think there's much harm in blowing it if he has it. And it's because Scarm is still going to be... Oh, he Swords Dance again. Expecting a Roost. Alright. I guess, and because if Scarm switch out, then he's just going to be weaker next time from Rocks. Well, now Scarm is really not loving the prospect of handling this and Pinsir afterwards. He just he caused a lot of havoc by not even attacking, just the threat. It's kind of cool. And there goes Lando again, and he blew the Z. Oh, it's Sky Strike. Wow, now Scarm really does wall it. That was... I did not expect that. And just like that, our game changes once more, although it's still looking really in favor of Ojama thanks to the Heatran. He needs to, like... I think he's way too healthy. He needs to, like, avoid a bunch of burns and, or just... Yes, he's gonna wear down. He can't switch in again. Uh-oh. I guess he was trying to wear down Finny with... I'm not sure what that protect was about. That was a little strange. I think he could have just gone right to Finny. And now he gets pursued. Oh, well, he just defogs, so that doesn't really change much. Although I guess T-Tar can die while spamming rocks, but what's going to prevent Finny from defogging after? I guess he's just not going to try to set up rocks, he's just going to try to do as much damage as possible and get Greninja going that way. Because T-Tar definitely tanks one hit from Finny because its bulk is just obscene. Thing is, if Ojama switches out, he'll have much rather used rocks. So maybe rocks is the best way to go. Oh, no, he's going to save it. Regen with Amoonguss. Scare it out here. Go back to Greninja here. Don't think there's much else he would rather do. He does do it. And Hydro City, let it fly. I wonder if he's just straight up Specs or if he's some sort of Z. That affects things as well. It's a very tight game. I'm digging it. Both players have done some very, very excellent stuff. So now it's in the hands of the movesets. Well, for this turn at least. And possibly the next couple after. That was dramatic. Ah, that really sucks. For that to happen again. Well, what can you do except try it again? Because it's not like Finny's gonna stay in now. Yep. Uh, can't exactly spike. See, this is why Finny can be kind of annoying. Like, even at the beginning of the gen when it was being used a lot and people were ragging on it for being dead weight and shit, then it was still kind of annoying. I mean, see, that's not a ton. That is actually really... That's either incredibly bulky on the special side, which I don't think so, because it was taking nothing from Landor's particularly, or it's just not specs for Ninja. Poor guy. Well, I mean, that one didn't really matter, but it was just insult to injury, so... Although I don't know if that was the wisest move. I think he had to just keep going to Amoonguss and double switching. It's even the worst spot. I mean, Finny was always going to stay in there, not just because of, what's it called? Not just because it was didn't want to risk a double switch, but because he wants every bit of leftovers recovery he can get. So, this is looking kind of over now. So thrilling as this is just kind of looking like a mismatch at this point. So yeah, this is over. Ojama's gonna win. So moving on to game two. The uncommon Wisp Heatran really paying dividends in this one. I guess a lot of people really get away with countering Heatran with Greninja, and I know there's a million reasons why that's not optimal, but if you throw out a Will-O-Wisp, they just can't do it throughout the game. So, because even if they double switch on you, then they're still taking damage. So, I like the way he felt out that Sky Strike though. That was really good. Yeah, at this point, Aloda just has to do ludicrous shit and hope it works. Otherwise, he's just not gonna win. So. You don't really see Protect much these days either, so that's cool. I mean, with uh, the popularity of specs on Greninja, then why not? So, all right, game two, Black and White, which is both of these guys' best tier. Oh boy, so on Ojama's side, we see some Excadrill Volk stuff, and on Elodin's side, we see some Double Dragon Alakazam stuff, and that shit is going to be hyper offensive as fuck. Latios leads off. It's about to fulfill its game-to-game quota of Draco Meteoring a T-Tar for a certain amount of damage, and then dying. I hate Keldeo. I would never run Latios if Keldeo didn't exist. Anyway. Oh, Breloom doesn't help either. So yeah, Ojama's team is pretty well stacked up against Latios, but he doesn't want Keldeo to just die, so he's gonna switch it out and Protect. Protect is a Keldeo set that Dice came up with. Oh, and Loden's looking pretty weak to Volcarona as well, but that's another thing. There's always the chance of getting up hazards. Anyway, Protect Keldeo is awesome because it. First of all, you have lefties Keldeo, meaning you don't get O-code by Sand, as some people say, and he was so afraid of that Keldeo, he power whipped it and ate Scarf's Rocky Helmet. But yeah, and Toxic nails Jealous, and with Skull Burns, you stall out of Mungus and shit. He was afraid of Taunt, which is why I assume he didn't get up any hazards, and said he's just gonna go to Hydreigon. And Hydreigon might kill something, but then Volk comes in and sets up, and I did not see much other than like a really bulky T-Tar, which I mean, there's a layer of spikes down now, and there's always Bug Gem. So other than an insanely bulky T-Tar or something retarded like, I mean, T-Wave on Sasham isn't retarded. Sasham isn't retarded. I take that back. But Volcarona, because he's easily have Lum, so. And yes, I realize I'm saying that it needs two different sets to beat two different theoretical Pokemon, but you don't know which one it is first, and it's still going to be doing a lot of damage at absolute worst. So there's a Specs Hydreigon that OHKOs Keldeo with a crit, so that's fun. Of course, Volcarona's going to set up now. Actually, you know what? He doesn't even need to set up. I would just go in and use Bug Buzz, because he has two counters, right? No, why not? Why not just use Bug Buzz? Maybe he doesn't have Bug Buzz, I guess. So he might be Giga Fire Ice, which gets kind of walled by T-Tar, which is kind of funny. I'm assuming Scarf Drill. I mean, it could be Scarf Latios and Defensive Drill, which makes up for the fact that your Scarfer is also your Keldeo check. Your Pursuitable Scarfer at that. By the fact that Excadrill has Protect, so he can sand it around and maybe switch to Skarmory on Secret Swords, if they are choiced. But yeah, I guess that's why he might not have gone to Volt, because otherwise, just free as Bug Buzz you ever saw. Because Zam and T-Tar, they can't check it twice, so here comes Pharaoh on the Draco. He's gonna get up some hazards, although Pharaoh with such weakened health is not. I mean, he can go down fighting. He can go down spamming hazards versus Excadrill, so at least he'll keep him up temporarily. There are the spikes. This is still looking very much like Ojama's game, although with Keldeo down. That said, against Zam Latios, Keldeo's never your favorite Pokemon unless it's late game and it's Scarf. So here comes back to Latios as Hydreigon comes in, so more Draco fun. And he really doesn't want T-Tar to take a hit because of bulk. So while Elodin's team is very good at handling rain and shit, then you skewed a Volk counter and he's going to pay for it. So doesn't even need a Draco, he's got the safe Dragon Pulse option, underrated but solid. And now T-Tar took damage, so now Volk is really going to just crush him. At least he's probably going to get a Brox, and he can superpower Excadrill, so he has to choose between killing T-Tar and spinning. So there's that. Of course, he's going to pursue the Latios first. Although, with Spikes and Sand going, then these aren't optimal Volk conditions. Maybe it's Bulky Volk with Quiver Dance and Roost. That's another possibility. So, first order of business, though, is getting rid of this Latios so that Hydreigon can mess more things up. Good God, that is strong. No rocks, and that looks like a roll. Yikes, Latios is really strong. And I know I ragged on it earlier, but see what happens when you get the hazards up first. Then it's really a bitch. It's handle with care. And he crunches it, knowing that Latios very rarely switches out because you want to damage. I've used teams that rely on T-Tar to quote-unquote pursue it and never even use Pursuit. And here comes Extra for the spin KO, but he's not going to give him that. He's going to keep T-Tar for Death Fodder later, although the hazards are pretty much permanent. The hazards are permanently gone now. So his only method of handling Volk, other than not giving it free shit to set up on, meaning he's got to lock into Surf with Latios, which isn't exactly bad considering the water resists are dead and everything else is hit very hard by it, although Scarf can take Specs Latios' Surf pretty decently, so it's not perfect, but, it's not a bad move to lock into, is basically just. So, and Zam also puts pressure on, and I'm pretty sure it's, actually no, if it's Scarf Exca, I'm really stupid. So, the more important hazard is gone in Stealth Rock, but he can still get up Spikes here. He could also Leech Seed. No, nice move. He's gonna eschew having Spikes permanently. I mean, I think that's not. He could have Spiked. He could have just Leech Seeded the Volk, which is not Roost. So I don't think it's the black and white set of Chesto Rest, which was awesome. But no, I think he could have Spiked, and then Volk doesn't want to set up because Leech Seed, and then there's Zam. So. No, he's just gonna scare it out. And now Hydreigon. Nice. And he can spam Fire Blast. He can spam Focus Blast, actually. No, he can't. He can't because Volcarona sets up there. Although he did chip it by 6% with Sand, so... well, Volcarona, I think it sucks because it's just... hazard removal in black and white, man. I hate relying on that shit. Not to mention, it has 4 move slot syndrome, and it gets revenge killed by amazing Scarfers, and it's hard to set up in the first place. It has no defensive value. You can't fucking use it for shit. Anyway, just so this doesn't turn into the Volcarona hate video, then I'll just say, although I do think it's not really good, then it has, I really like seeing how people dance around it with Volcarona weak teams. That's always a fun sight to see. Because a lot of teams are on paper Volk weak. So Focus Blast, here's a conundrum. You kill Scar and Volk sets up. The Focus Blast was nice because it handles the T-Char switch and it triggers Chople, so it won't kill it, which is good because he doesn't want it. He doesn't want to kill anything and get set up on by Volk, but he does want to burn the Chople for Alakazam and also just do a lot of damage. And he damages Scar while still not killing it. The worst case there, maybe Ojama should have gone to Excadrill. Because if Fire Blast, well, I guess Fire Blast would just take it out, and Volk doesn't really set up on Specs Fire Blast. Although, because it's Sand and Specs Fire Blast, even at +1, it's still going to kind of hurt. and then you have to kill a bunch of other shit, and then Zam Sash, and yeah. So even this Focus Blast is gonna do a pretty nasty chunk. He's just fiercely setting up, not setting up. So here we see Max Speed Timid Specs Hydreigon, which I'm not a fan of. Modest, man, honest. Anyway, yeah, and the Volcarona EV to outrun Scarflando at +1. I mean, I don't know this for sure, but running Modest Volcarona in a Scarflando metagame is just stupid. So, I think he has little choice but to uh, Focus Blast again. He can handle Scarm other ways. Matter of fact, I think earlier in the SM game I said, you know how those games that's like 6-4 and all the and it's looking like this guy actually has a lead, but this guy is like clearly in command. It's kind of like that because see, Elodin's shit is dead, uh, weakened, and no, he's not gonna sack up. And there's Quiver. Think don't think he I think he could have focus blasted again and then gone T-Tar because now he's got no choice but to go to the Zam. And the extra damage would have been good. So I don't think he's gonna. I don't think he was gonna Quiver Dance twice on the Hydreigon because sand is sand. So Psyshock Zam is really bad. So it's got to be Psychic, and you don't want to risk T Wave on Lum. So I'm sure he had a plan though. Latios. Okay, that's interesting because the way he didn't send in Volcarona earlier on the Focus Blast locked Hydreigon and spam Bug Buzz, which is what most people would do, and Elodin's banking on that, and him being HP Ice, and going to Latios. And worst case, Latios isn't that valuable against these guys anyway. So worst case, he just brings him down to 49% with Sand. So that's a very, very heads-up move. And he switches out. He gets him to switch out, and Draco misses. Okay, I don't think that mattered. But he got him to switch out. That's the important thing. Now, I mean, it mattered because you want all the damage you can get on it for, wow, these three are very potent together. It's hard to get a functional team with them because they stack a lot of weaknesses, and he doesn't even try to Draco it again. I thought that was strange because Zam is important, but I guess Lando threatens it all the same. Lando's really threatening with Scarm at such low health now. Wow, this was incredible maneuvering around Volcarona. And I guess it's why you run, what's it called? Bug Buzz, but here comes Ferrothorn dying to spikes as he sets up Stealth Rock. You see how it went to the side? That was cool. I've never seen that before. So he's got to be really careful because if he Earthquakes Skarmory, if he Earthquakes, then Skarmory roosts. If he Superpowers, Volcarona sets up. If he Stone Edges, then well, External could come in. So, what is the best case scenario? He would preferably want. Well, all those moves, the moves that kill T-Tar are abused by these two, basically. U-turn and Stone Edge, not even every Scarflando runs Stone Edge, because HP Ice, so it might not even have, Superpower. Depends on how. I think he should, because look at that team against Excadrill. You'd need that shit. So I don't think he's got Stone Edge. That said, that doesn't mean you can switch Vulcan. But HP Ice is never being used here, so we can rule that out. So it's between Earthquake, U-turn, and Superpower. The thing is, if you U-turn, what do you U-turn to? Hydreigon. I know that T-Tar's at -2 attack. I mean, he can take a crunch and then bring it down, but then it's getting dicey. Now he's gonna Earthquake it, and Scarm's gonna Roost. I mean, I assume he's gonna Roost. There's no other play. Spikes are worthless at this point. What the hell? Wait, what? I don't get that. I refuse to believe. I know bulky Scarf Lando is a thing for Exca, but I refuse to believe that this Lando is so bulky and the bulk is so bulky that it can take an earthquake from 55. That's obscene. I mean, what choice do you have though? You can't not earthquake here. But I don't. And then Scarf Drill can win with a flinch. No, he's gonna go to Zam. That was so strange. I don't know what just happened. I I'm so bamboozled right now. See, look, against the standard Volk, then look how much Earthquake does. What went on there? Look, zero, zero attack is doing that much. You know how much bulk it needed to live? That what happened there? I'm so befuddled. Was he trying to cover a Scarf Switch? Why not just go in the first place? I just don't know why Volk came in the first place. Oh, it's Leftovers Lando. How the fuck did I not notice that? Oh my god, I'm retarded. I'm so stupid. I'm so stupid. But I didn't even see it before. It was not showing it. It didn't show it until it just killed the T-Tar. That's why. Okay. Alright, and he switched to Zam because HP Ice. Yeah. And he needed the Lando Hertford. Wow, so I had to take a piss just now. Timer's low as hell. So Excadrill came in. Ironhead, Ironheaded the Lando. I think on that turn, if he wanted to, keep the progress going, because if Lando got in safely on Exca like it did, then if Lando got in safely like on Exca like it did, then something dies, and I think the advantage comes out to be Elodin's got under 5 seconds on the timer, Ojama's got under 20, 15, then it's going to come out to Elodin's advantage. If he Quiver Dances here, that's game. Oh, that was a tough one. I didn't even see that until the last second. Basically, that was one of the few cases of a true 50-50, because if both on if he doubled to bulk earlier on the obvious Lando switch, he could have avoided that 50-50 scenario. But that was one of the few cases of a true 50-50. It's a phrase that I hate. But basically, if he QDs on Lando as it EQs, then unless Exca bullshits its way, I guess that kind of may have weighed in his decision, because Excadrill can still Sand Force fuck everything up, because it just hits so damn hard. I guess that was a worst case scenario. Worst case scenario, who's gonna go for it with Exca anyway. So, yeah, that was a messy endgame, but yeah, that was looking weighed for Ojama, I guess, in a sense. But yeah, if he just killed Lando, then Exca clean swept with Ironhead. So, and I guess he switched because he knew that he switched because even if Ojama goes for Flamethrower, he can still win, I think. I don't know. That was... You could get into... I'm not thinking that one clearly, because well, I won't make excuses. But yeah, that was a wild one. I thank you, and I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys on the flippity.